Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the invisible forces that are shaping your digital wallet. You know, from the banking app on your phone to the platform you use for investing, FinTech companies are in a constant battle for your attention. But really, it's about something much deeper. They're fighting for your trust. So how exactly are they trying to win it?
Well, it all kicks off with this one. Really powerful number. 71%. A recent report on FinTech marketing found that's how many of us now expect a personalized experience from companies. It's not a bonus feature anymore. For most people, it's just the bare minimum.
So that number, it really gets to the heart of the problem, right? I mean, think about it. You can download a dozen different payment apps or investment tools in just a couple of minutes. So, in a sea of options, how does any single company manage to cut through all that noise and actually win you over? It's definitely not just about who has the best interest rate anymore.
The answer, and this might be surprising, starts with something that feels, well, almost a little old-fashioned, and that's building a solid brand. Because before a company can get you to even try their cool new features, they first have to get you to believe in them.
And this is exactly why that foundation is so critical. The data shows that a whopping 81% of us need to feel that sense of trust before we'll even think about making a purchase, let alone handing over our personal financial info. In the world of finance, trust isn't just a part of the product, it is the product.
So how do you build that trust? Well, it's a very deliberate process. First, companies figure out their personality. Are they going to be like a wise mentor, a friendly helper, maybe a super savvy tech expert? Then, they build an authentic story around why they even exist. And this is the crucial part. They create strict guidelines so that every single ad, email, and notification you get sounds and feels the same. That's how they build that sense of recognition and reliability.
But look, a great story isn't enough to make you stick around. That's kind of just the first date. A strong brand gets your foot in the door. But the real work, the hard work, is building an actual, ongoing relationship that makes you want to stay.
And that relationship, it's built using what you could call a modern engagement playbook. This is where companies get really clever to keep you invested, using things like valuable content, a sense of community, and even the psychology of games. Now, we're not talking about just running more ads at you. The modern toolkit is all about things like insightful blog posts or podcasts that actually try to educate you, not just sell to you. The goal here is to prove their expertise and give you something of real value. And what's interesting for the company is that this approach also happens to be 62% more cost-effective than a lot of the old-school tactics.
And the payoff for all that effort is just huge. Research shows that when a company simplifies a complex financial topic, it can make you 131% more likely to use their service. When they help you finally understand something intimidating, like investing or budgeting, it does more than just teach you something. It builds your confidence in them.
It's basically education as a marketing strategy. These companies build trust by empowering you. And you'll see this everywhere. From expert webinars and interactive learning modules to even financial literacy challenges that make learning about money feel like a rewarding game.
And speaking of games, that brings us to the next huge tactic, gamification. This number is just wild. One study found that 89% of us would be more likely to engage with an app if it had game-like elements. That is an almost universal hook.
So what does this actually look like? Well, think about the points you earn for making a purchase, or the digital badges you unlock for hitting a savings goal, or even just that little progress bar that inches forward as you pay down a loan. These small features tap right into our brain's natural craving for achievement, and it creates this little reward loop that keeps us coming back for more.
And this isn't some abstract theory, right? It's happening on your phone, probably right now. That little digital high five your app gives you for being responsible with your money, that's not an accident. That is a carefully designed piece of this engagement engine, and it's built to keep you motivated.
So what's powering all this? What's behind the curtain? The third and final piece of this puzzle is the technology itself. It's the engine that's driving all this hyper-personalization today, and it's giving us a pretty wild glimpse of what's coming next.
This right here is the fundamental shift. Old-school marketing was like a giant billboard on the highway, just shouting the same generic message at everybody who drove by. Modern FinTech marketing, though, is more like a quiet, personal whisper. It's that notification that knows your specific savings goal or your spending habits. It's a message for an audience of one,
you. Now, one of these futuristic technologies is augmented reality, or AR. Put simply, it's when you use your phone or another device to layer digital information right on top of the real world. It creates a whole new kind of interactive experience.
Now, you might be thinking this is still niche, maybe years away. But the data tells a totally different story. A stunning 88% of medium-sized businesses are already exploring how they can use AR. This isn't just a fad. It's quickly becoming a very serious business tool.
So what could this actually mean for your finances? I mean, just imagine pointing your phone at a stock ticker and seeing a 3D chart of its performance pop up right there in front of you. Or picture having a virtual financial advisor appear in your living room to walk you through your retirement plan. That's the kind of future that AR is promising. And AR is just one piece of a much larger wave of change. You've got other huge trends forcing companies to adapt. There's decentralized finance, or DeFi, which challenges the very idea of a traditional bank. Then you have cryptocurrencies, creating new assets that demand tons of education to build trust. And then there's embedded finance, which is when services like buy now, pay later get slipped right into the apps you already use, making finance almost invisible but totally essential.
Okay, we've covered brand, engagement, and technology. So let's pull all this together and really focus on the bottom line. What does this whole incredibly sophisticated marketing battle actually mean for you, the person using these apps?
When you boil it all down, all these different trends really point to one single strategy. It's a data-driven race. A race to build a brand you can actually trust, an experience you genuinely enjoy, and a service that's so personalized it feels like it was made just for you.
And it's important to realize, this is about so much more than just clever marketing. By making finance more accessible, more engaging, and weaving it deeper into our daily lives, these trends are fundamentally reshaping our very relationship with money. Which leads us to one last, pretty provocative question. This whole system, it's built on a trade, right? We give companies our data, and in return, we get better, more personalized services. But as these fintechs learn more and more about us to serve us better, you have to stop and ask, who is really in control of our financial future? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.